Have you ever felt completely overwhelmed by the noise of other people, their opinions, their expectations, their constant need for validation? Everywhere you turn, someone has something to say about how you should live, what you should do, or who you should be. Social media bombards you with highlight reels of other people's lives, making you question your own. Friends, family, and even strangers feel entitled to an opinion on your career, relationships, and beliefs. And then there is the pressure to fit in, to be liked, to be accepted, to meet the never-ending demands of modern life. It is exhausting. But here is the truth. This struggle is not new. More than 2,000 years ago, Stoic philosophers faced the same human challenges, seeking purpose, managing emotions, and maintaining resilience in a chaotic world. They, too, had to deal with criticism, rejection, and the weight of other people's expectations. The difference? They developed a timeless philosophy, one that allowed them to remain calm in the face of chaos, unshaken by external opinions, and focused only on what truly mattered. The Stoic mindset for dealing with people. Imagine having unbreakable inner peace, where the words and actions of others no longer shake you, where you can listen to criticism without feeling defensive, where you can handle conflict without losing your calm, where you no longer seek external validation because you already know your worth. This is what Stoicism offers. And today, we are diving into 8 powerful Stoic principles that will help you navigate relationships, handle conflicts, and protect your peace of mind. These are not just abstract ideas. They are practical strategies to help you deal with difficult people, build better relationships, and strengthen your mindset. So whether you are struggling with toxic relationships that drain your energy, people-pleasing tendencies that leave you exhausted, hurtful criticism that makes you doubt yourself, this video will give you the tools to rise above it all. Your Stoic journey starts here now. Before we dive into these 8 Stoic principles, take a moment to do something for yourself. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a lesson that will help you take control of your mind. Like this video if you are ready to break free from negativity and distractions. Share this with a friend who needs to hear this message today. Let's build a community of resilient, unshakable individuals who refuse to be controlled by the noise of the world. This is not just another self-help lesson. This is a guide to mastering your mind, strengthening your character, and reclaiming your peace. So, are you ready? Let's get started. 1. Stop seeking external validation. Marcus Aurelius. One of the biggest sources of stress and dissatisfaction in life is the need for external validation. We often surrender our peace by trying to live up to other people's expectations, whether it is approval from family, recognition from colleagues, or likes and comments on social media. We constantly seek reassurance that we are doing things right. But at what cost? This endless pursuit of approval pulls us away from our true selves. We begin making choices not because they align with our values, but because they align with what others want to see. We adjust our behavior, our goals, and even our personalities just to fit into an image that gains acceptance. And the more we chase validation, the less we trust ourselves. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers and a Roman emperor, recognized this destructive pattern. He wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own." This paradox reveals a fundamental flaw in how we approach life. We value our own existence, yet allow the judgments of others to dictate how we live. At the end of the day, the only approval that truly matters is your own. The modern struggle with external validation. Think about social media. You post a picture or share an opinion, and the number of likes and comments determines how you feel about yourself. If you receive praise, you feel validated. If you are ignored or criticized, self-doubt creeps in. But why should a few digital interactions have so much control over your emotions? Imagine this scenario. You are excited about a personal project or a new goal, but instead of moving forward with confidence, you hesitate. You wonder what others will think. You wait for their approval before fully committing. This hesitation is a sign that you are giving away your power. The reality is, no matter what you do, someone will always have an opinion. Some people will approve, others will not. If you shape your life around their judgments, you will never truly be free. How to break free from external validation. So how do we stop seeking approval from others? How do we build confidence in our own decisions and actions? 1. Define your core values. Your values are your foundation. Without them, you will be easily influenced by external pressure. Ask yourself, what principles guide my life? What do I stand for regardless of what others think? Am I making choices based on my values or based on fear of judgment? Once you define your values, commit to them. If honesty is important to you, live honestly, even when it is difficult. If discipline matters to you, maintain discipline, even when no one is watching. When your actions align with your values, you no longer need external validation. You find fulfillment from within. 2. Shift your focus inward. Instead of measuring your success by how others react, measure it by how aligned you feel with your values. Ask yourself, am I proud of my choices? Do my actions reflect my true self? If no one was watching, would I still do this? The more you focus on your own standards, the less you will care about external approval. 3. Surround yourself with the right people. The truth is, when you embrace your true self, some people will distance themselves, but the ones who stay are the people who truly respect you. It is better to have a few meaningful relationships than to exhaust yourself trying to please everyone. The Stoics understood that living with integrity sometimes means standing alone. But standing alone with self-respect is far better than standing in a crowd that does not truly see you. Imagine a life where you no longer seek approval from others, where criticism does not shake you, and where you wake up each day knowing that you are living on your own terms. This is the freedom that Stoicism offers. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that external approval is fleeting, but internal peace is lasting. The only approval you truly need is your own. The question is, are you ready to embrace it? 2. Master the art of radical honesty. Epictetus. Most people think of honesty as simply telling the truth to others, but honesty in the Stoic sense goes much deeper. It is not just about avoiding lies, it is about aligning your words, actions and beliefs so that you live with integrity. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, emphasized this principle throughout his teachings. He believed that true freedom comes from living an honest life, a life where there is no contradiction between what we say, what we do, and what we truly believe. Why is dishonesty so draining? At first glance, small lies may seem harmless. But every lie, no matter how small, creates mental clutter. When you lie, you have to keep track of what you said, remember who you said it to, and make sure your actions do not contradict your words. This constant mental effort builds up over time, leading to stress and anxiety. Lying also creates a fear of exposure. The more you deceive, the more you live in fear that the truth will come out. It is like carrying around a heavy weight. You might manage it for a while, but eventually it will exhaust you. Epictetus taught that integrity makes life simpler and more peaceful. When you are honest, you do not have to keep track of multiple false narratives. Your actions and words are in sync, and you live with a sense of clarity and confidence. The power of self-honesty. Honesty is not just about telling the truth to others, it is about being truthful with yourself. This is where radical honesty becomes a tool for deep personal growth. Many people deceive themselves without realizing it. They avoid acknowledging their weaknesses, fears, and failures because it is uncomfortable. But self-deception prevents progress. If you refuse to admit that you have a problem, you will never take steps to fix it. Consider these questions. Are you honest with yourself about your fears? Many people say they want success, but deep down, they fear the responsibility that comes with it. Are you honest about your weaknesses? If you constantly blame others for your struggles, you will never recognize the areas where you need to improve. Are you honest about what you truly want? Sometimes people chase careers, relationships, or lifestyles that do not align with their true desires simply because they want approval from others. Being radically honest with yourself requires courage, but it is the only way to grow. How to cultivate radical honesty. Practice self-reflection daily. Take a few minutes at the end of each day to reflect on your actions and thoughts. Ask yourself, did I act in alignment with my values today? Was I completely honest with myself and others? What fears or excuses held me back? Speak and act with integrity. The next time you feel tempted to say something just to please others, pause. Ask yourself, am I saying this because it is true or because it is what someone wants to hear? Does this align with who I truly am? When your words and actions match, you develop a reputation for being trustworthy, both to yourself and to others. Admit mistakes and learn from them. Radical honesty does not mean being perfect. It means having the courage to admit when you are wrong. The more you practice acknowledging your mistakes, the easier it becomes to correct them and move forward. Let go of the fear of judgment. One reason people struggle with honesty is that they fear rejection or criticism. But living dishonestly for the sake of approval will never bring true peace. The more honest you are, the more you attract people who respect and accept you for who you really are. The freedom of radical honesty. Imagine a life where you do not have to pretend, where you are not weighed down by lies or false appearances. A life where you can fully trust yourself and where others trust you as well. This is what Epictetus meant when he said that integrity makes life simpler. Honesty removes unnecessary complications and allows you to focus on what truly matters. The path to wisdom, growth, and inner peace begins with one simple principle. Be radically honest with yourself and with others. 3. Don't take things personally. Seneca. When someone insults you, criticizes you, or disrespects you, your first instinct might be to feel offended or hurt. But here is the real question. Is it really about you? We live in a world where people react based on their emotions, personal struggles, and past experiences. What they say or do is often a reflection of their inner world rather than an objective statement about you. Yet, we often take their words and actions personally, allowing them to disrupt our peace. Seneca's wisdom: people act based on their own struggles. Seneca, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, understood this deeply. He taught that when people behave negatively toward us, it is usually because of their own pain, biases, or misunderstandings, not because of something we did wrong. Think about a time when someone lashed out at you. Maybe a coworker snapped at you over something small, or a stranger was rude to you in public. Your initial reaction might have been frustration or even self-doubt. But if you look closer, Was their reaction truly about you? More often than not, it had nothing to do with you at all. Maybe that co-worker was dealing with stress from home. Maybe that stranger was having a terrible day. Or maybe, deep down, they were projecting their own insecurities onto you. When you start seeing other people's actions through this lens, you begin to detach emotionally from their negativity. Their words no longer hold power over you because you understand that their reaction is about them, not you. Why taking things personally is a mental trap. The moment you take someone's criticism or bad behavior personally, you give them control over your emotions. Their words dictate how you feel, and suddenly your peace of mind is in their hands. This is why the Stoics trained themselves to develop emotional resilience. They knew that external events, including other people's words and opinions, are beyond our control. What we do control, however, is our response. By choosing not to take things personally, you reclaim your inner stability. You become less reactive, less affected by negativity, and more at peace with yourself. The Stoic solution: practice the pause. When faced with criticism or disrespect, instead of immediately reacting, pause. Give yourself a few seconds to breathe and ask yourself, is this really about me? Is this person speaking from a place of wisdom? Or are they simply venting their own frustrations? Do I have control over this? Can I change this person's opinion or reaction? If not, why waste energy on it? What's the wisest response? Should I respond calmly, ignore it, or simply walk away? By practicing this, you give yourself mental space to respond with reason rather than emotion. How to stop taking things personally in everyday life. Recognize that most people are focused on themselves. People are not thinking about you as much as you believe. They are absorbed in their own problems, fears, and insecurities. Detach from external opinions. What others think of you is their business, not yours. Do not let their perception define your self-worth. Build your self-confidence. The more secure you are in who you are, the less validation you need from others. When you know your values, other people's words lose their power. Develop a sense of humor about it. Sometimes, laughter is the best response. When someone criticizes you unfairly, try to see it as their personal issue rather than something to take seriously. Protect your inner peace. When you stop taking things personally, you become emotionally untouchable. You realize that people's words are just words. They only hurt if you allow them to. Seneca reminds us that most of the pain we experience in life comes not from what happens, but from how we interpret it. By shifting your mindset, you can move through life with a sense of calm and resilience, untouched by the negativity of others. The next time someone insults you, criticizes you, or acts rudely, pause, take a breath, remind yourself, this is not about me. Then choose the wisest response and move forward with your peace intact. 4. Develop Stoic patience. Marcus Aurelius. Most people think of patience as waiting without complaining, but the Stoics saw it as much more than that. Patience isn't passive, it's an active skill. It is the ability to endure difficulties, setbacks, and frustrating situations without losing control of your emotions. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, often wrote about patience, not as an act of suffering through unpleasant moments, but as a powerful tool for mastering life's challenges. He understood that frustration arises when we expect things to happen a certain way, and reality does not match those expectations. The key to peace, then, is accepting what is and responding with wisdom rather than irritation. A simple example: patience in everyday life. Imagine you are stuck in traffic. You have two choices: get frustrated, clenching your fists, complaining, and letting the situation ruin your mood. Accept it, realizing that traffic is outside of your control, so you might as well make use of the moment. You put on a podcast, reflect on your thoughts, or simply enjoy a few deep breaths. In both cases, the traffic remains the same. But in one, you are consumed by anger and resistance, while in the other, you find peace and productivity. This is the essence of Stoic patience. It is not about passively tolerating difficulties, but about choosing how you respond in a way that serves your well-being. Applying patience to people. The ultimate test. It is one thing to practice patience with traffic or long lines. It is another to practice it with difficult people. Imagine someone at work constantly criticizes you, or a friend who always interrupts when you speak. Your natural reaction might be irritation, resentment, or even anger. But Marcus Aurelius would advise you to pause and reflect. Can I control their behavior? Number. Can I control my response? Yes. Will getting angry help the situation? Number. Instead of reacting emotionally, try accepting people for who they are, without letting them disrupt your inner peace. This does not mean tolerating bad behavior or letting people walk over you. It means responding with composure rather than emotion, keeping your dignity intact, and not letting their negativity affect your state of mind. The Stoic strategy for practicing patience. 1. Accept that some things are beyond your control. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself that there are two kinds of things in life, those within our control and those outside of it. Impatience often comes from wishing reality were different than it is, but the Stoics teach that resisting what you cannot change only leads to frustration. 2. Train yourself to pause before reacting. When you feel impatience rising, pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is my frustration helping this situation? What is the wisest way to respond? This small pause gives you control over your response rather than acting on impulse. 3. Adjust your expectations. Most impatience comes from expecting things to go a certain way. If you expect a conversation to be quick and efficient, you will feel frustrated when someone talks too much. If you expect people to always act fairly, you will be disappointed when they do not. But if you expect delays, setbacks, and occasional conflicts as part of life, you will no longer be upset when they happen. Expect difficulties, and you will be less disturbed by them. 4. Turn waiting into an opportunity. Waiting does not have to be wasted time. Whether you are in traffic, waiting for a reply, or dealing with a slow-moving process, use the moment productively. Reflect on something meaningful. Observe your surroundings with curiosity rather than frustration. Take slow, deep breaths to center yourself. 5. Remember that patience is strength. Many people mistake patience for weakness, but in reality, it is one of the greatest forms of self-control. Losing your temper is easy. Staying calm under pressure requires strength. Marcus Aurelius believed that patience is a form of mental armor, a shield against the frustrations of daily life. The more you practice it, the less the world can disturb your peace. Mastering your reactions. Imagine a life where you no longer react to annoyances with stress or anger, where long lines, delays, and difficult people do not shake your composure. This is what Stoic patience offers. It is not about suppressing emotions, but about choosing how you respond. It is about seeing every delay, frustration, and obstacle as an opportunity to strengthen your mind. Patience is not waiting. It is the discipline of maintaining peace in a world full of chaos. And once you master it, no situation, no person, and no circumstance can steal your inner calm. 5. Embody your philosophy. Epictetus. Talk is cheap. It is easy to say we believe in certain values, but living by them is a different challenge. In Stoicism, beliefs mean nothing unless they are reflected in action. You can read all the philosophy books in the world, repeat Stoic quotes, and talk about wisdom and virtue, but none of that matters unless you apply these principles in your daily life. This is exactly what Epictetus meant when he said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." Why actions matter more than words. We admire people who live their values, not just those who talk about them. Think about someone you respect deeply. Chances are you respect them not because of what they say, but because of how they act. Compare that with people who say one thing, but do another. A leader who preaches honesty, but lies when it benefits them. A friend who talks about loyalty, but disappears when you need them. Hypocrisy weakens credibility, and Stoicism is about eliminating that gap between words and actions. If you claim to be patient, do you actually remain calm when things do not go your way? If you say you value kindness, do you still act with kindness when someone is rude to you? If you talk about discipline, do you follow through with your commitments even when no one is watching? The real test of character is not in what we say, but in what we do, especially when it is difficult. The Stoic way, living your values in action. If you truly want to be Stoic, you must prove it through action. Here is how. 1. If you value kindness, show it in difficult moments. It is easy to be kind to those who treat you well. But true kindness is measured in how you treat people who are rude, impatient, or disrespectful. If someone insults you, respond with composure instead of anger. If a stranger is rude, do not react negatively. Respond with calmness. If a friend disappoints you, choose understanding over resentment. This does not mean tolerating bad behavior. It means not allowing negativity to change your character. 2. If you value discipline, act with consistency. Discipline is not about motivation. It is about following through, even when it is hard. If you commit to a morning routine, do not skip it just because you are tired. If you set a goal for self-improvement, take action daily, even when progress feels slow. If you say you will finish a task, do it, even if no one else is watching. Stoicism teaches that self-discipline leads to freedom. The more you train yourself to stick to your values, the less you will be controlled by distractions, laziness, or temporary emotions. 3. If you value honesty, be honest with yourself. First, many people lie to themselves about their weaknesses, fears, or failures, but self-deception prevents growth. Are you truly living by your values, or are you just saying you do? Do you make excuses for your actions, or do you take full responsibility? Are you avoiding hard truths because they are uncomfortable? Radical honesty with yourself is the foundation of integrity. If you cannot be honest with yourself, you will struggle to be honest with others. Your Stoic challenge. This week, what is one value you claim to have, but struggle to live by? Maybe you say you value patience, but you get irritated easily. Maybe you believe in self-discipline, but you make excuses for skipping workouts or tasks. Maybe you think of yourself as a kind person, but you struggle with anger in certain situations. Pick one value that you want to improve. Then, for the next 7 days, focus on aligning your actions with that value. No excuses, no exceptions. If it is patience, practice it in small moments of frustration. If it is discipline, commit to one task daily and complete it no matter what. If it is kindness, challenge yourself to respond with grace, even in difficult situations. Be a living example of Stoicism. Epictetus did not believe in empty philosophy. He believed in philosophy as a way of life. He did not want his students to just memorize Stoic teachings. He wanted them to live it. Every action you take is either proof of your values or proof of your excuses. So, do not tell people what you believe in. Show them. Do not explain your Stoicism. Embody it. 6. Ignore the haters. Marcus Aurelius. In today's world, judgment and negativity are impossible to escape. Whether it is social media, gossip, or unsolicited opinions from others, people will always have something to say about you, no matter what you do. If you succeed, some will say you got lucky. If you fail, some will say they saw it coming. If you try something new, some will mock you. If you stay the same, some will criticize your lack of growth. Marcus Aurelius understood this reality centuries ago. He wrote extensively about how external criticism should never disrupt your inner peace. His solution: build an inner citadel. The inner citadel, protecting your mind like a fortress. Marcus Aurelius described the mind as a fortress, a place of strength that no external force could breach unless you allowed it. Think of it like this. Imagine you own a castle, and every negative comment, insult, or criticism is a soldier trying to break in. You decide who gets through the gate. If you let in every negative opinion, your fortress will be overrun. But if you control what enters, your stronghold remains secure. Your mind is your fortress. Protect it. Why haters are inevitable. Haters and critics often reveal more about themselves than about you. People criticize for many reasons. Envy. Your success reminds them of their failures. Projection. They take out their frustrations on others. Fear of change. They do not like seeing people improve because it makes them question their own stagnation. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. You cannot control what others say about you, but you can control how much power you give them. The Stoic solution: how to detach from negativity. 1. Filter what you consume. The modern world bombards us with negativity. Social media, news, and gossip can easily infect your mind if you are not careful. Limit your exposure. Unfollow pages or people who thrive on negativity. Be mindful of conversations. Do not engage in gossip or toxic discussions. Surround yourself with uplifting content, books, podcasts, and people that encourage growth. If you let negativity flood your mind every day, do not be surprised if you feel drained. Protect your energy. 2. Train yourself to detach from drama. Many people waste time reacting to things that do not matter. A negative comment online, a rude remark from a stranger, or an argument over something trivial. Does it really deserve your attention? When someone criticizes you, pause and ask, does this opinion matter in the grand scheme of my life? If someone spreads negativity, respond with indifference instead of feeding their energy. When people gossip about you, remind yourself, their words do not define me. Reframe your perspective on haters. Instead of seeing critics as enemies, view them as tests of your discipline. Every insult, every judgment, every negative remark is an opportunity to practice emotional control, not reacting emotionally, inner peace, not allowing negativity to disrupt your state of mind. Confidence, standing firm in your beliefs, regardless of outside opinions. Marcus Aurelius did not let the judgments of others shake him. He knew that his own character was the only thing that mattered. Final thought: live unshaken by opinions. You will never please everyone. Some people will misunderstand you, some will dislike you for no reason, but none of that should affect how you see yourself. The real question is, do you approve of yourself? When you build your inner citadel, you no longer need external validation. You no longer react to every insult. You no longer let outside noise dictate your inner peace. The next time someone criticizes you, ask yourself, am I going to let this inside my fortress? Then let it pass like the wind and move forward with strength. 7. Lead with love. Seneca. Many people think of love as just an emotion, something that happens to us when we feel close to someone. But Seneca had a different perspective. He believed that love is not just a feeling, it is an action, a choice, a way of engaging with the world. In Stoicism, love is not about grand gestures or romantic ideals. It is about how we treat others, even in difficult moments. Love is reflected in patience, kindness, and understanding. It is tested not when things are easy, but when people challenge us. Seneca's wisdom: love is an active force. Seneca believed that love was one of the strongest forces in human relationships. He taught that our greatest power lies in choosing to approach others with goodwill, even when they are difficult. It is easy to love those who treat us well. The real challenge is showing love when people are rude, impatient, or frustrating. Imagine someone in your life who constantly annoys you. Maybe it is a co-worker who takes credit for your ideas. Maybe it is a family member who always finds something to criticize. Your instinct might be to argue, ignore them, or become resentful. But what if you responded differently? What if, instead of reacting with frustration, you chose to lead with love? A new challenge: choose understanding over reaction. The next time someone is difficult, pause before reacting. Instead of seeing them as an enemy, try to understand their struggles. Ask yourself, is this person acting out of their own pain or insecurity? Do they lack self-awareness, making them blind to their behavior? If I were in their situation, what might I be feeling? People's actions are often shaped by their experiences. A person who is rude may have been treated poorly themselves. A person who criticizes may feel unworthy inside. Seeing others with this level of awareness does not mean excusing bad behavior, but it does mean approaching them with patience rather than hostility. The power of empathy in difficult situations. Seneca reminds us that we cannot control others, but we can control how we respond. By leading with love, we remove ourselves from the cycle of negativity. A few ways to practice this in daily life. With a rude person, instead of snapping back, stay calm and disengage from their negativity. With a difficult friend or family member, instead of getting defensive, acknowledge their perspective before responding. With a co-worker who frustrates you, assume they are struggling in ways you cannot see. Respond with professionalism and composure. Practical exercise: shift your perspective. Think of one person you struggle with. It could be a colleague, a friend, or even a stranger who upset you recently. Now, challenge yourself to see their struggles. What might they be going through that you are unaware of? Reframe their behavior. Are they intentionally being difficult, or are they simply reacting from their own pain? Choose a response that reflects love rather than frustration. This does not mean tolerating mistreatment, but it does mean acting with wisdom and self-control. Love as a Stoic virtue. Stoicism is often associated with logic and discipline, but it is also a philosophy of deep humanity. Seneca believed that love was a sign of wisdom and strength, not weakness. By choosing understanding over anger, patience over frustration, and kindness over resentment, you do not just improve your relationships, you free yourself from unnecessary emotional burdens. True Stoic mastery is not just in controlling emotions, it is in choosing how you engage with others. And in the face of conflict, love is always the wiser choice. 8. Stop comparing yourself to others. Stoic perspective. Comparison is one of the greatest thieves of happiness. In today's world, where social media constantly exposes us to other people's successes, wealth, and achievements, it is easy to feel like we are falling behind. But the Stoics had a different perspective. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, taught that the only worthy competition is self-improvement. Instead of measuring ourselves against others, we should focus on becoming better than we were yesterday. The problem with comparing yourself to others. When you compare yourself to others, you often do so based on incomplete information. You see someone's success, but not their failures. You see their confidence, but not their struggles. You see their achievements, but not their sacrifices. Social media makes this even worse by showcasing people's highlight reels, the best moments of their lives, carefully curated and edited. You rarely see their doubts, mistakes, or challenges. This constant comparison creates a cycle of dissatisfaction. You feel good about your life until you see someone doing better. You start questioning your progress and feel inadequate. You lose motivation because you believe you are too far behind. But what if you stopped playing this game entirely? Marcus Aurelius, the only competition that matters. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about others. Instead, be intent on what is your own." In other words, stop looking sideways, look forward. The only person you should be comparing yourself to is who you were yesterday. Instead of asking, "Why am I not as successful as them?" ask, "Am I improving compared to where I was last month?" "Why don't I have what they have?" ask, "Am I making steady progress toward my own goals?" "Why is their life better?" ask, "How can I build a life that is meaningful to me?" When you shift your focus inward, you regain control over your own growth. Measure yourself against yesterday. For the next 7 days, commit to this Stoic challenge. Identify one area of personal growth. Do you want to be more disciplined? Do you want to improve your emotional control? Do you want to make better decisions? Each day, track small improvements. Did you handle stress better than before? Did you stay consistent with a new habit? Did you react more wisely in a difficult situation? At the end of the week, reflect on your progress. Did you improve, even slightly? What lessons did you learn? What will you focus on next? The goal is progress, not perfection. How to break free from comparison for good. Limit exposure to social media traps. Unfollow or mute accounts that make you feel inadequate. Use social media with intention, not out of habit. Remind yourself, what you see online is not the full story. Be grateful for your own path. Every person has a unique journey. You are not behind. You are simply on your own path. List 3 things you are proud of in your life. Celebrate small wins. Progress is made up of small steps. Instead of waiting for a big achievement, recognize your daily improvements. Remember, no one has it all figured out. The people you admire also have struggles you do not see. Success does not eliminate problems, it just creates new challenges. Build your best life. When you stop comparing yourself to others, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and anxiety. You stop living for external validation and start focusing on what truly matters to you. Marcus Aurelius was right. The only worthy competition is self-improvement. So, instead of worrying about where others are, focus on where you are going. One step at a time, one day at a time, become the best version of yourself. Conclusion, your challenge. This week, you have just explored 8 powerful Stoic principles that can help you navigate relationships, handle difficult people, and maintain your inner peace. But knowledge alone is not enough. Stoicism is about action. Now, it is your turn to apply what you have learned. Which of these 8 Stoic principles resonate with you most? Do you need to stop seeking external validation and trust yourself more? Do you struggle with honesty, especially with yourself? Are you quick to take things personally when others criticize you? Do you need to develop patience and accept what is outside your control? Are you living your values or just talking about them? Do you let haters and negativity affect your mindset? Can you lead with love even in difficult moments? Do you compare yourself too much to others instead of focusing on your own growth? Choose one principle that challenges you the most and commit to practicing it this week. Even small changes can lead to big transformations. Drop a comment below and share which Stoic principle you will focus on first. Let's build a community of like-minded people who are serious about personal growth and inner strength. If you found these lessons valuable, subscribe for more Stoic insights and practical wisdom to apply in your daily life. Until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and stay Stoic.